Hey, you want to see some justice? How about a low level getting ganked by somebody over 10 levels higher? But that low level happens to have a second account. Say hi to Mr. Bear. Okay, yes, I did have to camp him once. He was over 10 levels higher than me trying to gank me while I was questing. That's his fault, not mine. I'm the victim here. Alright, let's get into it. So guys, this is for level 60 to 80, so if you're not level 60 yet, you need to check my previous videos on how to get there. Now, this is for 7.3.5, but it will also work for Battle for Azeroth, because there's not going to be any big changes. The big changes have already happened. If there are going to be big changes down the road, be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can get updates whenever I have a new video coming out addressing those changes. Alright, so this is episode 2, 60 to 80. The outline, we're going to be going over tips, the simple route, and then the very fast route. Now, the very fast route, I'm pretty confident is going to get nerfed. It's pretty insane, so I'm going to talk about that one last. Alright, episode 2, let's go. So for some quick tips, we're going to skip Burning Crusade altogether. Unless you like BC, feel free to do it, that's fine, no big deal. But Wrath of the Lich King is much more optimal. The reason why is, think back to Vanilla WoW if any of you ever played it. You'll know how the quests are all over the place. You'll get a few quests from the same person. One is like, go to this other questing zone to complete it. Another one's like, go to the other continent and come back. It's crazy. Now Burning Crusade, they did improve this a lot. It's a lot less, sporadic. However, it's still not as optimal as Wrath of the Lich King. Wrath of the Lich King, it's like, here's 4 quests, they're all right by each other, go do it and I'll give you 4 more in another area. Very nice, very easy to do. So, Wrath of the Lich King. Now, you do want to try to stay to less populated areas if you're on a PvP server, for example, Howling Ford instead of Boring Tundra. And then also enchants, you may want to consider wanting to switch them out. I found this really cool spreadsheet on some random forum. I don't know who made it, I'd love to give them credit because they spent a lot of time on this. But it lets you filter like weapons, neck, cloak, whatever, and it shows you all the enchants, different level brackets, how they scale. So if you want to decide to make a change, do it. Alright, now let's move on to the simple route. I'm going to keep this very short so I can hurry up and get to the fast route. So dungeons are now no longer worth it. They don't give that much experience compared to the amount of time you're going to be in them. It took my group 22 minutes just to do Utgard Keep. That's with no wipes either, mind you. However, I do want you to do one random BC dungeon and one random Wrath of the Lich King dungeon every day. The random queues give you a lot more experience once. It's a daily, but you can do both of them once. So start off in Boring Tundra and just stay there as long as you can. This is an amazing zone, beautifully designed. You get a lot of levels just sitting there. Now if you're on a PvP server, you may want to consider going to Howling Ford instead. It's a lot less populated, less chance of getting ganked. Shalazar Basin's a great place, it's really small, whereas Storm Peaks is really huge, so you want to avoid Storm Peaks if possible, unless you just want to go there. Too much flying and traveling, bad EXP per hour. And there is an alternative at level 68. You can just go grind some mobs in Icecrown. They spawn in packs of like 5 to 7. It's a little challenging though, but it gives pretty decent experience. Okay, let's actually move on to the really fast method here. The one that I'm worried may get nerfed, but it is amazing. Alright, so I found this method out on accident. I was questing on my Paladin in Boring Tundra and getting ganked a lot. So I decided to get my Druid on my second account and have him just follow my Paladin around and protect him. Eventually I got close to the Nexus, doing those quests in Caldera, and I was like, well, dungeons take forever now, they're not even worth it. However, there's 4 quests in the Nexus. I'll just run myself through to get those quests done really quickly. So my Paladin followed my Druid and he just ran through. The very first mob that died though, the very first one gave a huge amount of experience. I was like, what is this? Did I have Rusty XP? No. What's going on? So then I thought, I'm going to test this. How much experience would I get in a 5-man group running a Nexus? So it turns out, per mob, I was getting 900 experience, like for the normal mobs. 900 experience when you have to split it 5 ways. When it was just me and my druid, I was getting 1500 experience. And the mobs were dying instantly, not taking 10 to 15 seconds. But what else shocked me is at the end of the dungeon, this isn't, using looking for dungeon, this is just me running into the dungeon with my max level, you get the end of dungeon completion bonus. I thought you only got that when you did looking for dungeon. Like when you pug with random people. No. As soon as my druid killed the final boss, 44k experience. Boom. That's about 4 or 5 bars of experience instantly. I was like, wait a second, how can I optimize this? What's the fastest dungeon in the 60 to 80 bracket? Hellfire Ramparts, because we can do Burning Crusade dungeons too. So I went there. In about 7 minutes I was leveling up every time. You can do 2 runs in 7 minutes, and that's how long it really takes to get a level. Oh my gosh. Why wasn't I doing this from level 60? Now, and the next thing I thought was, what about heroic dungeons? Well, those give the same experience, nothing different, and you can only do that once a day, right? So that's not worth it. And then somebody mentioned that they were soloing Karazhan on their character and getting a lot of experience. I thought that was bullcrap, so I went to test it out. Yeah, that was bullcrap. And when I had my max level run me through Karazhan, I was getting the normal experience, 1500 per mob, like I was in the normal dungeon. So Karazhan wasn't worth it, because you also don't get that end of dungeon experience. Remember guys though, you can only zone into an instance 10 times in an hour. So there will be some downtime whenever you finish running through those 10 instances. Now some of you may be saying like, well I don't have 2 accounts. How do I benefit from that? Well, you can have a friend run you through, and you can run them through something. Scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. You can also buy somebody from trade chat. Say like 5k a run for Ramparts. Somebody's like, oh, that's a quick dungeon. Keep repeating that and get some easy money. But yeah, do this from 60 to 80, you'll level up in no time. Now episode 3 will be from 80 to 110. It'll be the last one in this guide for now. Although there may still be more installments later on, so be sure to follow and subscribe to my channel, and you'll stay up to date.